Bonjour mes amis and welcome to my channel. So I am Cendrine, an Ascension mentor and a trance channel to the Arcturian Healing Council. So today I would like to present you with something very unique that I have never done before. So I have connected with a friend to go deep into a Q&A that will literally change your life. Because not only do we bring in the Arcturians in to answer very important, potent questions about things that are happening for us as a collective in this time and space reality. But what actually this session brought was many activations. So during this session, I welcome my friend Anok, the head of the council, the Healing Council of Arcturus. So I welcome him in my body, and you can see that my voice change, and I do all these like kind of sounds and things with my hands, and like I talk in a different way. And I will answer questions that I had prepared before with Melissa in meditation, really tuning into the collective as well as our own experiences to bring in information that is very important for us. But then something very unexpected happens at the end, and I feel still emotional about it, because Anok will actually give place to another being, the source of all, that is going to come into my body. So I am not used to welcoming that power in my body often, and I can say that it is beyond words. So I would like to invite you to really, watch this video until the end. And of course, if you haven't done it yet, I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm just starting on YouTube, so it's very nice for you to do that, to support my work and the Arcturians' work. So because this is quite full on, I would just recommend that you get water and drink a lot of water. You might like to take notes, and because you're going to watch the recording, you can actually pause, and write down things, because it's like we go really deep into these big questions, right? And after the activations, the transmission, the Q&A, it will be very important for you to ground yourself, to go out in nature, to put your feet on Gaia, to drink water, and like even take a bath with Epsom salt, and really get in your body and allow all the activations to happen and all of these light bulbs, to drop. So it's my honor to be there for you. During this channeling was revealed my story, and after actually when we finished the recording of the channeling session, I cried. I cried for 5 minutes in silence, with my friend crying on the other end of the screen, because it was that beautiful. And now that I've been working for many years, like over 2 decades, on improving, expanding, maximizing my intuition, but also on self-development, on refining my connection with my body, the way I can embody those frequencies. So I do the work every day of eating clean, plant-based food, doing intermittent fasting. I do not use any substances at all. I just practice yoga, I walk in nature, I meditate a lot, because I keep, training with my Arcturian friends and source. So it's a true blessing. Like, I'm so deeply honored and very humble to be able to channel that. But now that I do the work, I do the work behind the scene, and so does Melissa. This is why I asked her, because I know that, she's the woman who can handle those frequencies. And I would like for you to really take a moment before we start, as we did in our own space before this channeling, to really go in your breath. You can do that now. Simply draw your awareness in your breath. Feel your breath in your belly. And simply connecting to your breath, allow your mind to soften. Allow presence to come upon you. And sometimes it can be really clearing and grounding to inhale through the nose. And then open the mouth and let go, exhale. And we ground from your belly and your breath all the way down to the soles of your feet. Connect to your roots and anchor your roots deep within the earth. Feel your roots anchoring you deep within the earth all the way to your crystal. And as you ground yourself, allow yourself to feel safe and protected. And connect to your heart. Feel the magnificence of your heart. And expand your heart from within all the way out. Connecting to my own heart, and I will lead you to that later also. So you can connect to giving and receiving. As I give this channeling, also receive through your presence, your receptivity, your own alignment, your words, your support into the quantum field. I thank you. I thank you to receive and to give back. And then allow yourself to open up to God's source, the crown chakra, visualizing an opening up there, receiving a river of liquid white light directly from Source. Source seeing you now, feeling you now, opening up to all that is, opening up to receive in peace and harmony and alchemy, allowing you to understand from a heart-centered place all the information that are gonna come through, and that can sometimes be really triggering for humans. Allow all the information to be filtered through your heart, to your inner knowing, to the wisdom of your soul. And know as well that you can only receive what you are meant to receive, that if you do not relate to any information shared here, that is all good. That is something that we do not all receive the same way. As I channel this myself, I do still have, sometimes this little voice of doubt, at the back of my mind saying, really? Are you sure about this? I'm not sure that can really happen. So know that even as I have these frequencies, I have this being in my body, and as I channel this, I do have that. So just observe how big it is for you. If you can just ignore it and rather receive it from the heart and just place it there in the higher knowing always, that all is always happening according to the plan, that we are loved and that everything is there to help us reach oneness, to help us alchemize all the processes so we can be an ascended humanity, so we can anchor 5D reality in our hearts. I wish you to have a wonderful activation during this video, and I will see you after when I come back to this time in space to clarify a few things. And now I will play the recording that we did on Zoom. Enjoy! I'm just going to take a few breaths and really start dropping into our breath, our lower belly, our womb area, just breathing from below, connecting to our sacred femininity and Gaia from the 3 lower chakras, opening down. Connecting to our roots, our crystal deep within the earth. And starting to feel the energy moving in the solar plexus, feeling the solar plexus as this call here now is part of our soul mission, connecting soul mission with our solar plexus, and Melissa connecting you and me to the solar plexus and all the chakras and the heart moving up Expanding the heart, visualizing beautiful, magnificent heart rotating like a sun. It's a crystal heart, magnetic heart, very vibrant, connecting us to one another, but also all the people that are going to listen to the recording of this session later, connecting from the heart now, inviting everyone to connect from the heart center to our own hearts. Feeling connection from the heart, from the front and the back, creating the loop of the heart, infinity loop of receiving and giving and receiving and giving, as this session today is very much an exchange. And from my heart, I thank you for being here, Melissa. And I thank all the people who are going to listen to this session later. Thank you for being here, connecting, giving and receiving from the heart in all balance and harmony. Beautiful, moving the energy up, opening up the throat chakra so we can communicate clearly from the place of love and higher frequencies, so we can channel for the highest good of all with the purpose of evolution. May our speech be crystal clear, made out of love and high vibrations, allowing the frequencies to open up fully our throat chakra. And connecting to our pineal gland, third eye vortex of energy through Ajna chakra. Expanding it now, connecting it now, asking full activation of Ajna chakra, pineal gland full activation, so we can receive clear images, clear messages, and inner knowledge coming directly from the higher realms that we are going to tap into today. And creating a strong connection now from the crown chakra, radiating all the way up, tapping into source, source, source. And as we tap into source, moving up, 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 finding the chambers of source heart, God's heart, opening up, receiving us, actually placing us in the chambers of God's heart. So we are completely protected, deeply activated, surrounded by love, visualizing us and you people listening to the recording of the session in a big white fluffy cloud, protection around us, big gigantic pyramid around us, with one up and one down, creating sacred geometric symbol, protecting us and allowing us to tap into frequencies needed. Full connection with Source established, full of connection with Gaia established, creating the pillar of light within us now. Vertical axis activated, horizontal axis needed to activate more for the purpose of clearing the conscious collective on Earth in the path and allow to anchor the highest timeline in the future. Activation of horizontal axis now, fully activated. Excellent. Welcoming Anok now in my body, the head of the Council of Light. Activated. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited. I welcome you, Melissa, and all the amazing beloved souls who are going to listen to this recording.
I would like to introduce myself so everyone knows what we will channel, where it comes from. I am Anok, Arcturians from 7th dimension, residing on Arcturus, now residing actually in spaceship just outside of Earth with the group of the Healing Council and 3 other council present there around Earth right now in spaceships. One Healing Council, Security Council, Council of Light, and then Council of Reprogrammation of Earth Great. Difficult to explain in human terms. Together for councils, we are there present with other galactic teams, Pleiadians, and Illyrians, all of galactic beings present now. We want to say we work together. We work together, and we need humans to anchor and channel us fully and get used as well to our appearance in the quantum field. So if one day full physical manifestation happen, it will be less of a shock. I, Anok, head of Healing Council, agreed for this session today because Cendrine needs reassurance, and the reassurance she needs is actually connecting to reassurance that the collective needs. So this is for the higher purpose of healing Cendrine. Also, Melissa, the people on the call and the conscious collective. This is why this was agreed upon. Usually, Anok, I do not do predictions and answers this way. If you have participated in other channeling from Cendrine, we work on healing the physical body through sound, light, sacred geometry, and a lot of cosmic surgery that we absolutely love. So it is my great honor to be present with you today. I would like to initiate the session with one sound. Ingene será coite que será cu como este que será coite sa como será coinete conikin kigaya como este corata sora yestera como este taracoene mane será coito como será kaya como será ki. We are excited now. We welcome the questions.
Hello, and I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for allowing this to take place. Welcome to all the beings of light who are sponsoring humanity. Thank you.
It is our great honor. Thank you, beloved Melissa.
These questions have been formulated from the collective, and I hope they serve those who receive them. The first question humanity would like to ask you: what do we need to know about 5G technology?
Thank you for this very important question. 5G is going to create a network around Gaia like none before. We can see a wheel coming around Gaia. Think about a pressure cooker. There is nothing, unfortunately, humans can do to prevent it, but we want to reassure you, it is part of the plan. We want to say that there is it's hard to explain, but the wars that some people think is happening in the invisible is not actually a war. It's like a level of frequencies. And yes, we sometimes would prefer not to use tools and beings from the lower frequencies, but at times it is needed, because when you are in a pressure cooker, what happens? You explode, but then you are free. It is intense and it is unpleasant, but unfortunately, humanity has not been able to awake as we thought that could have happened. Humanity has chosen to continue into their way of over-consumerism, destroying Gaia, eating their beloved animals, and performing unsacred activities daily. We have sent you many warnings before. We have sent you so much help. Now that timeline had to be anchored of 5G happening in the world, because it will be a very quick, instant pressure cooker. Depending on how fast humans can catch themselves and demand health and demand a change in the way businesses and industries now rule the world, it can shift slightly, especially with the timeline present on Earth. Let me say this: if now all the people go walk in the streets, decide to strike, and with peace and love voice their discontent and say clearly this should not happen. Imagine if all the people, even half of the people, even a quarter of the people of the planet did that, it would not happen. So humans, as much as you do not want to hear this, you brought that upon you because of your dormant laziness into acting and taking responsibility for your life, your country, your phones, your technology. You believe you live in a democracy. We say that is also an illusion. The democracy comes from you. If you do not voice what you do not wish to see happening or not happening, and actually take aligned actions every single day, you are fooling yourself with the way you embody your power. So with 5G, it will happen. Things you can do is continue voicing the fact that you do not want it. Saying this, it is important to listen to me, Anok, now, because in a way, 5G is negative for the planet, for humans, and especially beloved animals. They will be very destroyed, and ultimately people will wake up because of that. They will fear the suffering of their beloved pets so much that will they not stand. So important to remember that fear-based perception is always the one to avoid. Tap into your power. There are things you can do every day to avoid too much radiation. For example, using phone always. Never put phone on ear. That fries the brain. Never put the phone on the ear. Reduce phone consumption. Always turn Wi-Fi and every devices off completely for at least 12 hours a day, meaning at night. 7 to 7, for example, can be good digital detox for you too. So reduce that, spend a lot of time in nature, but also shift the frequencies of your body, because listen to this important message. As the Earth consciousness is shifting, there is one thing in 5G that humans can still not understand with the lack of science. You think you are advanced, beloved humans, but Arcturians want to say you are just little children playing with baking soda and vinegar. Exactly like that with 5G. Things about the eruption of baking soda and apple cider vinegar, for example, like this. It's not nice, it's fun, but it's unpleasant. It's especially put on the skin. 5G is like that. In 5G, there are things inside that frequencies that are negative for humans. But on the other hand, one positive strand of that is that it allows humans' frequencies to shift and to adapt to higher levels, because then you will be able to access true digital age that will help you create new earth. So you see, there will be some tweaks, and we forecast if people start watching over their physical body and their technology consumption and also tap into their power. We forecast if the timeline is really well anchored, humans fully empowered, there will be massive discoveries in terms of science, because people want faster internet. That is a good thing. We say technology must increase, science must increase. That is good. It is just making it vibrate in harmony, but the frequencies will have to increase. It's just something in 5G that is not adequate for science, for human brain. We struggle to explain this, as Cendrine does have not have notions around that, and even humans working on that, they kind of perceive it, but they don't really understand it either. So Arcturians, as well as other galactic friends, are working closely with the people creating the 5G. We are literally bombarding them with do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. So trust the process, beloved human. This will help the ascension in one way. It might be unpleasant, but we would like to summarize what you can do. Have a very healthy lifestyle. Remove toxins from your body, as negative toxins in the body, heavy metal in the body, vaccines in the body, like foreign objects in the body, like foreign metals in the body. Try to avoid it as possible. If you human had some surgery to repair your body, we would like to suggest that you bring a lot of love around the body that was broken once and that now contains metal plate inside. Keep on simply rubbing the body. Let's say Cendrine had broken arm and her pins are there full of metal. She cannot remove it, right? It's a good thing. Arm has been repaired. She just needs to rub it every day like this, connecting to body, saying, I love you, body, you're beautiful, because frequencies then will stay high. So create strong frequencies in the body. Practice fasting a lot. Turn Wi-Fi and all devices at least 12 hours a day. Very important. That will be triggering for a lot of you, but it is very important. Read a book, light a candle, dance, be with the stars and us. That's amazing. Again, for pets and animals, that will come later. We believe we are going to share about that later. It is hard for us to see that because many sacrifices will unfortunately happen. But we do not want to anchor fear and sadness inside of you, because this is the opposite of the purpose. The purpose is to uplift vibration. So look after your pets. Give them love. Give love to all animals, and all will be well. Did we answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Anok. The next question that we have is, can you share with us any information about the event known as 3 days and 3 nights? Is that coming into our timeline, and how can we prepare?
Very deep question, Melissa. I knew it was coming. Event is coming. Yes, do not drop into fears. It cannot be avoided. As 5G expands, create pressure cooker. It is ideal for events because pressure cooker of the 5G with frequencies as well with challenges around the planet with coronavirus and the consequences economically will trigger people so much, there will be a shift. It's like a cut. There will be all the people who cannot handle it and drop into darkness. But then all the people that are even slightly connected to the light, it's a magical shift. And as this happens in the next couple of months, all of these people, let's say, for example, Cendrine want to take an example of somebody she knows. It's like somebody who has a very good human heart, but who would deem himself as not at all spiritual. Yet everything that he does is actually coming from the heart. From the outside, Cendrine, that person that you shall not name for privacy, that person from the outside is doomed because he looks like he is completely anchored into 3D reality. You fear for him, but Cendrine, can you see the heart inside the person? You do not have to fear anything. Listen, when your friends and relatives have a little speck of connection to their own heart, they will be good. The shift that are going to happen is going to be the most massive for them. It is why leaders of light will be so important, because with compassion, receive them, accept them. And as the event is announced, end of 2020, beginning 2021, intensity increasing for about a month, these people will need help. It is only a smaller portion of humanity. Data are difficult at this stage because it all comes from individual inner power, you see, but trust their light, trust. So as event approach, intensity increases, 5G part of that, as well as coronavirus and economy crash that is going to happen very soon, like a pile of cards collapsing. All of that creates the perfect condition for the event. We say it is not horrible, on the opposite, it is fantastic, because people will be ready to see all that there is more to life, that the life that I had lived so far. It will be a quantum shift into an ascended timeline. A lot of people will wake up every day thinking, what the hell, what the fuck, we do not get it. How can have life change so quickly? But then they will anchor themselves, because in the end, what will matter is that their beloved friends, their beloved family, their beloved children and pets are around them. This is all that will matter. So you see, the event will ultimately bring people back to the only one thing that matters, which is love. We do not want to bring fears among humans. We want to allow you to trust. The event is now getting out there. More and more people are hearing about it, and it creates fear. Cendrine got quite frightened because she thought, I do not have financial resources, I do not have a garden, I do not live in a place to sustain myself. He said, it is not what you think. Think differently and it will be. You create your reality. So if you see yourself being devastated by the event, you will. If you see yourself rising up, connecting, shifting, leading, so it will. The event is going to start checking. The event is going to start in Europe. Europe has been the birthplace of the darkness over the last 2,000 years. Europe is the one going to go down the first. The darkness is going to come there first, and then it is going to spread from this point rapidly around the earth in a matter of hours. So if you live in these countries, we want to say, prepare to stay happy inside. Prepare to have an amazing get together with your loved one. This is how you will get through the event, because again, it is simply there to shift consciousness. So if you are prepared and you have amazing food ready in the pantry, we would like you to prepare, have 1 month of food and water per individual, and count 2 more people, because you human want to practice love and generosity. So think that you need food for 2 more people. So when the time comes and you think, I need to keep it all for myself to survive, you will say, no, I'm prepared to be generous and spread love. And this is what I will do. I will open my door to these friends, these family members, to welcome them and go through this together. Difficult for Cendrine to channel this. A lot is coming into her field. A part of her still doesn't really believe it is going to happen, but even ascended leaders and masters will always have doubt inside of them. It is normal, but what you need to do still is prepare, because if it doesn't happen, then if we were wrong, or if timeline all of a sudden shifted, because you know humans, it is highly likely that event and 5G happen, highly likely, but humans are full of resources and consciousness has shifted like this before very quickly. So we do not say that it is not impossible for you to shift massively on the whole house, to bring the collective in such high vibration that it won't be necessary to use pressure cooker or 5G, and even to shake minds up. This is why Anok did this video, because I believe in you humans. I believe in the way you adapt and the way you evolve. Just like this, I have seen it myself. You are amazingly adaptable. Change, you overcome change. You grow stronger so fast. You can expand so quickly. Your heart is very often in the right place. Do you have other questions around event?
You said that most people in Europe need to prepare. For those of us who live elsewhere in the world, would you advise that we prepare for a month of food and water too?
Yes, sorry, wasn't clear. All of humanity has to prepare. It's just, it will most likely start in Europe.
Thank you.
And Europe, Cendrine saw that many years ago, darkness spreading in Europe and the States. These countries will be more triggered, yes.
Okay, so just to clarify, Anok,
yes.
We need to prepare for a month's worth of food and water for
yes.
each individual, plus
yes.
2 more.
Yes.
And although, to just be clear, the darkness that is coming, if we allow ourselves to experience joy, fun and freedom, then it will not affect us in the same way. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, Melissa. And in the end, it is really all experiences can affect you deeply if you hook yourself into it. The cat is dying. If you hook yourself into the cat dying for 2 years, you will be highly depressed. But if you cry for a few days, then pick yourself up, put the cat into the heavens and care for it from your heart, and choose higher frequencies of love and choose to tap into the love that the cat gave you. That is a good experience. Then you can get a new kitten that will bring you a lot of joy. So it is the same with event. It is not negative. It is for the highest good. So if you use it, again, you see, everything happens for a reason. People were in lockdown now for that reason. So they could prepare already to be between them. So all the relationships that were very highly dysfunctional will break up now. So when event comes, those people won't have to go through the same thing if they took the right decisions in accordance with their higher self. So if you want, it was kind of a scenario to prepare people to be at home together.
Like a test run.
Prepare, yes, exactly.
Cool. That's really cool. Thank you so much for sharing. That was heaps of information.
You're welcome.
The next question I have is for beings of humanity who are working towards supporting themselves more into 5D. So the fifth dimension, how can we, the beings of light who are here holding that frequency, how can we anchor that in? And do you have any tips? I feel like you kind of answered that in the last question, but any advice would be great.
Thank you. Beautiful question that is going to uplift the frequencies of Cendrine now at event really triggers her. She will have to do the work around that. Yet for people who are bridge builders between 3D and 5D reality, now it is your time, friend. If you feel the calling in your heart to be a leader, a light worker, anything that like that, now is your time. We need you more. So everyone who has a speck of interest into exploring spirituality, and in any way, there isn't a one right way or one wrong way, or one way that is more powerful than another. All ways of exploring spirituality from the heart are as powerful. So if you listening to this call, you have a longing to try this or read that book or have this session with that person or go on a pilgrimage, do this now. This will be how you anchor 5D, because as you learn, as you study, as you follow your heart desire, then you can receive the codes and activation, the learning, but also the soul connection that are needed to help you embody 5D reality. What is 5D reality really? It is love consciousness. It is living all the time from a place of love consciousness. Many ascended masters who walked on earth, Christ consciousness, Buddha, and as well in the hierarchy of the Native Indian American, in India also, sage from all over the world have shown what it is to live from 5D reality. It is only that it wasn't labeled as such before, and it was only one individual, and then people created religion around them, enslaving them even more, when actually the master came to start with to show that everyone was like that. The message wasn't clearly received. Now imagine that you are going to actually realize deep within the core of your being, it's like the penny is finally gonna drop after thousands of years, that you are Christ consciousness. You are, my friend, you listening to this, and every single human being on earth is Christ consciousness. This is the 5D ascension that we talk about. It is actually very simple. Realizing that and embodying that. So if you feel deep within you that you are Christ consciousness, when you start bitching about that girl who is so successful and looking so pretty and you so jealous, are you being Christ consciousness? No, you're not. You stepped out of the 5D vortex that you started summoning around you, that you started embodying. So as you catch yourself thinking that way, or just like I'm going to have a quick smoke or a quick drink or a quick sexual act or a quick something that you know is not fully aligned in Christ consciousness, but you think you're going to do it behind doors, away from people. Do you think that is embodying Christ consciousness? It is not. So it is both very easy but triggering for people. Your triggers are your gift also. Always remember that. It is only plasters covering the magnificence of your being. You are a true light being. You are Christ consciousness, and everything that doesn't vibrate with that has to go. This is our work, Arcturians, me, Anok, Healing Council. When we work on healing people, this is most likely all that we do. We rewire physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual body to activate this remembrance, this alignment into Christ consciousness, higher consciousness that is already within.
Thank you. That's so good. I think that really clarifies it, because I think most people thought that 5D was actually a different place, you know, not a different energy inside yourself.
Yes.
So that was a good explanation.
And we want to add, remember when we say that most likely 5G event will happen, if now, imagine, everybody who watches this video will be highly activated into embodying, perceiving, aligning, creating vortex of Christ consciousness. Some people will not relate to Christ consciousness. Relate then to whatever makes you understand that concept within you, like light being, divine, whatever makes you embody that. Imagine if this video is watched by 2 billion people. That is the mass collective consciousness shift that we are talking about. Then no need for 5G triggers, no need for events, because the frequencies of the 5Gs will shift. 5Gs will exist, but the frequencies of the collective consciousness, this is Cendrine, it's difficult to explain, but it's like the collective consciousness now vibrates so much higher that the 5G has no relevance. People can enjoy the fastness of technology without having to even worry about their health and their pet's health, because they are so tapped into 5D Ascension reality within them that they are fully naturally immunized, if you'd like to say it this way.
Okay. So you're saying that the 5G technology is going to come anyway, and that it's up to our personal work to hold a higher vibration in order to counteract it. From what I have read and researched, there are many different waveforms that 5G could be. One is detrimental and the other one is safe.
Yes, that's exactly. Thank you. We knew, Melissa, you were the one needed on this call. You are so knowledgeable, educated in words Cendrine did not know. Exactly. The good wave can be kept, and it is not harmful. On the opposite, it allows you to embrace technology and connectedness all around the earth. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, so as we are governed by many people here on earth, our governments, we need to anchor in the outcome that whoever is in charge of turning this on turns it on into a non-harmful frequency. Is that correct?
They are puppets. Sorry. Bless them and their beautiful soul. They do what they can with what they have. But the people in power are not the ones who are going to shift. It is individual lift into 5D ascension that is going to trigger many more people to live from a place of the heart, Christ consciousness, divine being, that is going to create a new kind of, it's not a sheet, it's like kind of a little bit like a wave or electric current around the earth, and that is going to mix it's going to be interwoven with the 5G, and then it's only the positive that stays, because it's kind of, the collective is so high vibrating that then the detrimental 5G waves are actually completely losing effect. It's not even needed to act technologically. It's just like the technology that people activate in their heart center through their connection is going to balance that out and harmonize it. So do not wait for people outside to change it. It won't happen. Change within.
Good. Yes. So don't drop into the fear of it.
No.
Yeah.
No fear. No fear.
So that kind of leads me really nicely into the next question that we have, which is some of us are already divine leaders and we are working hard on helping our own kingdoms and our own tribe that follow us and are listening to our guidance and information that we share off our platforms. How can we as light leaders support our tribe?
Excellent questions. Thank you for asking. I am leader of my own team, so can relate. The notion of sacrifice for the tribe is important to understand. One thing. The other is aligned action. Another one is self-work, embodiment of the teachings taught. This is what came into Cendrine. She is happy for herself to be shown as an example of discrepancy in leadership. This is for her own good, and so people can understand. When we started coming through Cendrine, expansion happened very fast. But then, for different reasons that we shall not name, kind of grief and listening to wrong things, stepping into wrong things, she forgot the most important, which was the inner work. She thought she was still doing it, but it was like not enough at all. So she lost her leadership anchor. The vortex was kind of outside of her. She was trying hard again to bring it back, but what did it eventually is that she finally sat down for 2.5 hours to reconnect fully, and now we are happy to say that she is connected into her leadership role. So doing the work yourself of what you preach to be able to be the bridge builder of high frequencies that you need to then redistribute to all your soul mates, followers and clients and friends, all the people who follow you and who need you to be the leader that they need to themselves ascend and understand through your own language, through your own story, through your own frequencies, through simply your appearance, the way you move, the way you talk. People will relate to you differently from others, and all is always well. But for that, they need you to walk the talk, as you say, humans.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know that a lot of leaders have chosen to be not leading during the lockdown period, and that many have chosen to go within.
Yes, excellent.
So thank you for answering that, because it means that we are doing the work.
Yes.
And when we have anchored that in that divine leadership, then we can go forward and share.
Yes. Something I would like to share also is alignment in leadership, because at times you will see that there are people in your field that are coming, and to start with, they say they want you and your teaching, but actually they are not aligned exactly with what you are, and they will kind of trigger the frequencies of your vortex and of them. It's like rubbing against each other. Like this, you know, the people I talk about, they can place negative comments and judgments all through your social media and platforms, even in person at times. So how to deal with that? First, come back into the vortex of leadership and feel this person in front of you, and from the heart, share love. And then ask that the cord is being cut between you both, asking this person to walk away with love and light and giving a beacon to that person. So that person has kind of a little torch, if you want, of light coming from you. You can say, I'm sharing a little bit of my light with you so you can walk away now and find your true leader. I am now your true leader. We do not align fully, but I bless you. I love you. You are looking. I honor your search for a leader that will resonate with you. I am not that one. So here is the light that I give you that will help you shine light and find the appropriate leader for you. This is important because many leaders are triggered in this way and it takes them out of their vortex.
Thank you. That is such a good answer.
You're welcome.
Have you got anything to share about vaccines?
Okay, connecting. I, Anok, have a lot to say about vaccines. Vaccines were very good for a long time. They really helped humanity cure and eradicate disease that were so rapidly spreading that humans back then didn't have the connection, knowledge, understanding, even self-care needed to eradicate those diseases. So for that, we welcome them in the past, but vaccines are not in alignment anymore. It's kind of, they have gotten out of control. Think about a person who eats sweets and chocolates. Sometimes it's good, it's comforting, it gives energy. It is not necessarily negative, but if that person stuffs her face every single day with sweet, that person will develop many health problems and obesity and depression and so on. Vaccines have become like this, like a very out of control frequency. Let me share this. Everything that exists in the world is a frequency. Vaccines are a frequency, like you know, like everything you know about that, Melissa, like money and like cash and future and everything that you think, like love and all of that. Vaccine is also a frequency. Vaccines, as they came to Earth, were guided by technologies like us, actually, Arcturians, helped humans developed it to help you. This is why I was a little bit cautious about sharing this, but I feel if I explain myself, well, people, we understand from the heart, we came here to help you. Eradicate that because it was very bad for humanity. So it helped, it worked, but then vaccine shifted. It came out of control. Why is that? It is a mix of different events worldwide that were happening. We did not see that coming because humans keep on surprising us. It was a timeline that started anchoring very fast. So it was as well the denial of the divine feminine and the healing properties of plants. You see, to start with, a vaccine was not the other end of the spectrum of healing with plants, healing with energy. It was part of this package of healing tools that humans had. The thing is that a lot of people started to reject the connection to Earth. It was as well because of industrial revolution and the fastness in over-consumerism. People could not be bothered to go in the woods, pick up plants. They wanted this and that, or become lazy. So the vaccine has an interesting history because they became overly demanded. Vaccine, to start with, was just supposed to come for extreme measures, but then vaccine started being depleted in energy. Everybody wanted it because people just couldn't be bothered to be sick with flu for 3 weeks when actually flu is needed, colds are needed, some diseases at times are needed. So the body sweats, and so the body has to stay in bed, allowing the mind to shift, to observe the life that that person is having, running, always shifting adrenal system. Do you understand? Vaccine was overly demanded. Vaccine was so exhausted. It kind of, how explaining this, became depressed in frequency and then used. And our vaccine has turned very angry. Frequency, very angry. Understand this. Vaccine was so used and robbed and raped and betrayed in its true essence that it has gone rogue now. It is very angry. Why? It is spreading so fast now. This is why it is starting to hammer people everywhere. So, taking deep breath. Now, new information, that is, we are going to say, reconnection with vaccine is important. First of all, do not vaccinate, because vaccine now is coming from vibration of anger and destruction. So it will only make you sick. And if it doesn't make you sick, it stays in the system as a dormant element, heavy metal and other nasties that people have started adding in vaccine. To start it, vaccine were more high vibrating, no, very bad. They put a lot of horrible, nasty things inside of them. Do not vaccinate yourself, but only shift around that will happen. It's not that we have to eradicate them all, it's that very few can stay in extreme cases. In extreme cases of deep pandemic in very poor countries, people who have no resources to other way of healing, then can be applied, but with love and high vibe. Now, do not vaccinate because more nasties are coming, because low frequencies use a vaccine to inject inside people's body, triggering people's body into low frequencies. They are as well stuck in the brain, creating in the brain anger and depression. Intense information. Do you have questions about this? We feel you have questions and it will help us.
I am not going to ask any further questions about vaccines. I think that you explained that very well. I don't want to interfere with my personal belief for the message of humanity. So I'll leave that there.
But we know you have a question that must be asked because Cendrine does not have the concept. We trust you.
So in New Zealand, a law has been passed 2 days ago where people can be mandated, they can be forced into medical procedures, which includes testing and or potentially vaccinating. I view this as a breach of our sovereign rights as humans. How can, there's two things. So firstly, I choose not to anchor into that frequency at all because I don't want that to make manifest. If it does happen, how can we counteract that? There are a lot of people who are afraid.
It's a revolution. New Zealand has been tested ground of big companies for too long now. You can't allow yourself to be guinea pigs for the world. It is going to require you to wake up and speak your truth. All of you listening to this will have to do research and speak up, sign petitions, and say no loudly, and even enter into conflicting situation with people who do not believe that it is taking their sovereignty away. We say war is never the way, but using anger in the appropriate way is needed at time for human. We do not want this. This is taking our sovereignty away. This is unacceptable, unacceptable, unacceptable. If you voice it now, it is good. If you wait down the line, people who feel the truth behind it will be again shut down, will be again moved away from society. We do not want that for you. New Zealand, you are always leading. Many galactic portals here. This country is the one going to ascend. A few of the countries going to ascend faster. This is coming exactly as part of pressure cooker effect.
I have a question about the leader of our country.
Yes.
Is she aligned with the divine plan?
Yes, she is pressurized by companies.
Do the companies have the resources to do this?
No, they do not.
Thank you. That I know for sure.
Your leader is working with light workers. Now that your leader cannot sleep at night for now, at the moment, she cannot sleep at night. This leader is being pressured a lot. Feel compassion for her, but also always call her from the heart. You people of New Zealand have been blessed with a leader that is actually listening to you. Call on that connection from the heart with her. This is what will change everything. She is a woman working with divine feminine, but she also understands the masculine distortion. She has the intellect needed to be able to navigate those waters. But always we need to tap into her heart. What people can do is send love to their leader, because even leaders around the world that are very dysfunctional are still light beings. They have forgotten so much. They cannot see it and they act in an anti-way, but deep down, remember, they also have Christ consciousness. So send them love. It will help a lot. And talking about companies and implementation of this law, heaviness there, but send love to all authority figures, cops, medical system, firemen, all authority figures need to be loved more, supported and loved. Because if ever intensity increases, this is what will make the difference. Not talking from the heart, but using the anger. This is my life. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And no, oh, you don't have the rights. No, you don't have the rights to do this. Like, can you feel it? Don't you feel it? How it's wrong? Talking from the heart is always what makes the difference. But this should not happen. We do not see it coming. It is just simply passing to wake people up again.
Yes, as I understand, there are different phases of the Great Revolution that we're in. And I feel that this part of it is just one phase. So, you know, just to reiterate people not to drop down into the fear frequency. And remember that we are sovereign beings of light. Remember that we have co-creative powers.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. And ultimately, there is only light and peace, always. The outside events, very triggering, can stay outside. You do not have to fear for your sovereignty, Melissa, because you are fully anchored into your vortex. Think about it as well. This information is crucial. If you are fully anchored into your vortex of 5D reality, aligning every single day, working on your frequencies, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, then people wouldn't even dare come to you with any low vibration, because your field, morphic field, all the fields around you are so powerful that it's like people are like, oh, it's like, just leave that one alone and walk away. So do you see, that's the power that you have, and you are already like this, anchoring, Melissa. Also is Cendrine, and also are many people. So do not fear anything.
Thank you. Now, so divine how this conversation is happening. I feel like it's flowing beautifully. Thank you so much, Anok. The next question I have is about how can we support our children?
Thank you. Little humans are good. Little humans are programmed for the shift. They are an army of warriors. You think you need to protect them, but indeed they came here to protect you. They have all the codes activating already. Some children suffer from anxiety or depression. It is not them. They pick that on adults around them. Sorry to say, parents, but that is the case. Children pick on you. No way a child can ever be anxious or depressed if an adult is fully centered. So if that is the case, look within, practice love, remember to slow down. This is why lockdown was so good, because so many parents and children reconnected. Actually, what happened is that children activated their parents. They showed them how easily they adapt. They show them how much love they have for parents. Even if they fight, even if they are no, deep down, their heart was blossoming for being at home with mom and dad for so long.
Oh, yes, I love that. That
Yes.
is so beautiful. Thank you. I feel that. I feel that in my heart so much.
We want to share something interesting that you might like to know about children and the great event and revolution happening. It is like there's a gap at the moment. So you have the children here being activated, and then the parents there, and in the parents, like, how to explain? It's like usually leaders and people shifting things come off the top, and then it's the next generation and next generation and next generation. Here there will be a huge shift. So with event and revolution happening is that young children will kind of jump into powerful places very fast. Think about Greta Thunberg. Like this, like many awoken kids will start taking responsibilities, very surprising for adults, and they will, without wars, without fight, without any negativity, coming from a place of power and love and ascended 5D reality timeline, simply come and the authority away. That is part of the great revolution. The children are actually some of the biggest actors in the event revolution coming.
Cool.
Yes.
Can't wait. Now, can you tell us or share with us anything about the redistribution, sorry, of money and wealth?
Connecting again. Connecting again. Money and wealth. Again, other frequencies that was badly used and that got really shifted around, like vaccines we talked about before. Now a flip has already happened regarding money. A lot of people now, especially light workers, are starting to understand that money is simply a frequency vibrating at a certain level, so they can tap into it and realize that money is there to give them more freedom and happiness and feel them safe and have a future and be part of the redistribution of the money. This is why we call all light leaders to make peace with money and actually to make love with money and visualize money as really a beautiful goddess or god fully in energetic field, as what told to you both by Gabi Kowalski, how she channeled that very powerful activation. This is one of her most potent teaching, and this is what a lot of you can realize indeed, that money and her extensions are living frequencies, and light workers need to work hands in hand, work closely with money so they can redistribute equally amongst others. This is part as well of the greater shift happening, because imagine now if all light leaders were perfectly in alignment with money frequencies, the power would shift very rapidly, because the light leaders having millions in their hands would be able to redistribute money harmoniously amongst all the humans on earth and recreate new systems, architect new systems like around wealth and abundance, and that would help tremendously. I can see as well a lot of light leaders redistributing this way for children, helping children come into power places so they can start leading a real revolution for democracy and change into the way the earth is being governed. Money is extremely important for that, but money will shift. At the moment, money frequency is still vibrating. How can we say? Frequency of money will increase as the ascension happens. So the money frequency will increase as more and more people ascend, and as more and more people ascend, working with money, then money will kind of start spreading all around the world for even redistribution. Greed will not be allowed anymore. No, greed will not be allowed. Luxuries, yes, greed not.
Thank you. We had agreed upon a certain set of questions, and we only have one more. I do feel a few other questions coming. I was wondering if it would be okay that we added in a few more questions.
Yes.
So one of the questions that I have for you is about the reptilian race.
Yes.
And their desire to be exposed and come out.
Yes.
Can you share anything about that?
Yes. Reptilians are at the moment suffering because pressure cooker has already been placed upon them for a long time. So they have been feeling trapped and stressed and worried and bad also in their physical body. A lot of them unable to sleep at night. It is kind of the point that they can recognize themselves like this, because they cannot sleep at night, too much happening for them. But they agree to leave because they cannot stand it here any longer. They had their purpose like everything in life, but no, they do not want to stay any longer. They are part also of a greater collective of low vibrating beings, such as you would deem them as demons and entities and lost spirits. All of that collective of lower vibrating frequencies are ready to leave, because remember that those frequencies are also part of the whole picture. They are not enemies. There is no war. They came here for a purpose, and now they see they are no longer needed. The thing is that so many people fear them, or they will deem them as bad and negative and dangerous, that it prevents them from leaving, because they need to feel love also to live, because in the end they work for the light. So when we can reconnect from a love place to all the low vibrating reptilians and entities and things like that, then they can live with ease, being acknowledged. Thank you for doing the work. You can go now. The light is right there as the light is here, and so it is.
Okay. And what can you share with us about the mass disclosure? And what I mean by that is a number of things. So one of the main ones that we've heard about is that your ships are going to be viewed on a global scale. Same for the Pleiadians and all the beings of light. Is that happening, and can you give us an idea of timeline, or is that part of the false agenda to cause more fear?
So here is the trick that might slightly disappoint or rejoice, depending on where you place yourself. Only the ones who are ready to see will see. Only the ones who have ascended to a certain level will be able to see. But the thing is that, imagine that if that mass reach a critical point, the news will spread so fast that even the ones who are unable to see will kind of have to believe it happened, but they were not triggered. And we do this to honor the self and sovereignty in people, and to not trigger fear and dementia in people. Because people who are part of the very deeply anchored 3D reality, if they came across us in the physical term, literally the vibrations will hold, will blow their fuses. So we will only be perceived by the people who in their brain and physical body have rewired themselves enough that they can see us maybe with a little bit of, oh, what is this? But yet, oh, it's actually okay. It's okay. Because a lot of anchored 3D people have watched too many movies picturing us as dark entities, demons coming to destroy them. So we will avoid, for safety reasons, also to show ourselves to them. But we trust that the critical mass will be reached. Yes.
And so if we wanted to connect, those of us who are light beings and who are working on the 5D and the support of humanity, how can we connect with you other than using a channel like Cendrine, a trans channel? How can we see your ships, and how can we call them so we know you're there?
Ask and you shall receive. Ask to be wired in such a way that you want to see us, but as well raise the question inside of you, why do you want to see us? Why? Simply, there is no right or wrong answer. As you open that question, then you will tap into your heart center, into your true essence within yourself. Maybe you will start crying, and maybe like Cendrine had a few weeks ago, you will start crying, and the answer will be, because I am one of you. And that will allow us to create a stronger connection. As you say, I would really like to see you. Can you please show yourself to me when the time is right? And then hear the question, why? And you can answer in any way or even in no way, but keep on raising the question, why do I want to see them? And then it will kind of open the heart center for us to perform some kind of magic on you to wire, again, intuition and different systems, dormant systems inside of you, especially the brain. So then when times come, you can see us. Always we will show in certain portals, but new portals are being activated as light workers are really ascending now. They don't always know it, but they create new portals in their neighborhood. So it's not going to be necessary to travel long distances to see us. Remember also that our ships are very big. They will be very big, and often you can distinguish that with the way the clouds are. So for people who do not actually see the ships, they could think, what this weird cloud formation there? Yes. But people will know, this. At night, it will be like certain shapes, geometric, sacred geometric shape in the sky. Some people will just think, it is satellite or light or whatever, but you will now. Then remember also that your physicality is not our physicality. For us, it will be intense to come into this physicality, and we will not have the same physicality. So do not think we will have the same body as yours. We are light beings showing ourselves in the form that reflects the most our nature, our purpose, our mission, if you like. But often, maybe you will simply know we are there because the vibration is so intense around you. You feel your hair rising everywhere and you see sharp color. Like we are very fast as well. We do not walk as such, we slide. So when they be here and then when like this, shoop, 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 like that. And then you will know, like if you feel a presence going like, whoo, 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 like this around you, us Arcturians love that. Pleiadians is different. Pleiadians slower, calmer, more present, anchor, but floating higher than us. We stay close to Earth brown, they be higher, more like flying. Arcturians float. And we are also told, so we are actually discussing on how we can reduce the size to be able to be more easily perceived.
Thank you.
We are very excited also. Know that not everything is ready yet for that, because we have to work as well with our own technologies and adapt them and work with all the other councils from other galactic realms into when and how that's going to happen. So a lot of discussions happening.
Great, and that leads me really to the last question that I have, which is the Galactic Federation Agreement. And for those of you who may not know what that means, it is an agreement between Earth beings who are ascended, who are helping control or helping support rather the ascension of humanity, and other light beings of higher realms and dimensions who have all made an agreement to help one another for the divine plan. So I know that Earth has made an agreement with the Galactic Federation of Light, and I just wanted to know your perspective on that, and how does that agreement affect Earthlings?
Collecting and connecting, checking with friends as well into quantum field now, what information can come through, contacting Pleiadians, asking Source himself for guidance. You shall say, this, I am now coming to you to channel this. I, Source, would like to tell you this now, that Earth is the womb of creation at the center of attention of all of the galactic systems. Earth is so very precious to us that now all the technologies and all the councils are working with one another under my guidance to help Earth. Gaia is an extension of me, you see. Gaia is so perfectly beautiful. It is extremely unique. You humans have still not realized how lucky you are to live and walk on this beautiful earth. You do not realize that this earth's preciousness, inside of earth there is a core that actually beats like your heart. Indeed, earth is alive like you. She just lives for way longer than you. Earth is my beloved. Earth is the beloved of the Galactic Federation. Because why? A lot of souls like myself, souls, need to experience more. It is part of the expansion and the restriction, expansion and retraction of the universe and the breath that I gave. Earth was their place to allow expansion. So many galactic beings were given the opportunity to come and have an experience on Earth as part of their expansion, as part of the universe expansion. As I take breath, the universe expands in and out, and Earth is the anchor of the breath, you see. You humans do not realize the importance of Gaia, my beloved, because You have disconnected yourself from Gaia's heart. I say, yes, do connect to us, but I, Sans, would like to ask you first to reconnect with the mother that birthed you and all of the creation on you. I say, there are different races on Earth. All of my children through all of creation and galactic realms have had the choice to come, if they wanted to, out of their free will, to experience a human body. So that's 11 different realms walking on Earth. There has been a lot of woven connection, crisscross of races. Some different ones now are emerging more strongly as new races that one day will become a new galactic Federation. As Earth evolves into Ascension, you will become a galactic federation, and it's like DNA and blood and morphic fields will be interwoven so closely that you will be birthed as one race. Now humans, you might think and believe and see that you are one race, the humans, but you are not completely fully harmonized yet, and this comes from heart. And I, Sans, want to acknowledge and be very clear on this. These differences in races has absolutely nothing to do with the skin color or the religion or the gender. No, nothing to do. It just comes from the different galactic beings that have incarnated on Earth and Earth history itself. I would like to take Cendrine as an example. She has already brought this knowledge on her, but she is a perfect example of this mixed ascended race. Cendrine was here from the creation of Earth, and I honor her from this. She came from a soul system that no longer exists. Her soul is so old that it cannot be traced. She came inside my chambers to rest, as you would say, for millions of years, but she was longing to experience again. So when I, with us and other federations, decided to birth Gaia, and Gaia would be created, we decided that consciousness would be placed upon Earth. We called for beings around the Galactic Federation to become consciousness on Earth. Cendrine was one of the first one to come. She was ready to come, and with her, she took her dragon. She took the dragon, and she was in the water. She loved the water for so long that she stayed there longer than others, as others would start evolving from water element into different beings on Earth, reptilians and birds and then mammals. And as Earth expanded, Cendrine was still in the water because she liked it a lot. She didn't want to come out, but she felt the callings as the waves that come crashing on the shores, and the shores kept changing. She started feeling the calling, and I called her. I said, okay, now time to move on, my beautiful daughter. And so her consciousness was placed in then what was an ape. And she was one of the leaders who taught apes how to evolve into first humans. She was given the stick of the leader that was just given back to her 3 weeks ago. Well done. And she taught others how to walk on 2 feet. And since then, she has been on Earth always as a human, but between incarnation on Earth. So if you, my beloved humans, think about the timeline that you believe exists in your time and space reality on Earth, Cendrine was always there every single time. 1 year between lives. Imagine 1 year between lives. But at 1 year between lives allowed her to train into Galactic Confederation, because when her starseed system shut down and she was in my chamber's heart, she wasn't ready to connect to others. She was grieving the loss of her starseed for so long. Then her training started. Between each human life, she would go into different star systems where she would be trained how to lead and experience. Cendrine is indeed representing how mixed races can happen on Earth. There are not very people like her, many people like her. She is quite different, but many humans have these experiences also of being trained into different star system, Galactic Confederation. A lot of you now are reclaiming your origin, reaccessing the codes and the gifts, but also all the training that you have done to be able to bring that on Earth. And I saw say that true 5D ascension will come from the alignment, the harmonization, the alchemy of all the Galactic Federation and the Earth into one Earth. And this will create a new federation on Earth of ascended beings that will then be Earthlings fully. Cendrine as such will be and is already one of them. She has been trained, you see, in other galaxies. And for example, let's say Melissa also came a very long time ago. She was a lot trained with Pleiadians and Arcturians, as well as other Galactic Confederation that Cendrine isn't aware of, so they cannot be named for her and Melissa to do the work after. But as she came here, Melissa started falling in love with humans. It's like her essence, like Cendrine's essence, and so many of you Earthlings' essence, you felt that Earth is home. It is your new home. It's like you are so deeply connected with Gaia's heartbeat that you cannot imagine walking on any other surface than the beautiful Earth that Gaia is. You have alchemized all your star origin into an ascended Earthling. Melissa is this, Cendrine is this, as well as so many others. But the critical point of deep change, alchemic change, that will bring this Earthling connection of a new race is underway. All the events that are going to happen do not have to be feared. They are here, my beloved, to bring oneness. And I, Source, rejoice. Rejoice to see all of you becoming one, transcending all the separations that your heart still wants to, that your mind still wants to make you believe that you are separated. Drop at once all the concept of wars, of people fighting, of hiding governments. Everything that is separating you from even one single human is preventing you from alchemizing the new race on Earth. All that you are required to do is to love and accept and embody that. My beloved humans, know that I am here now, more present than ever. Can you feel the peace in your heart now? As I speak through Cendrine, I source, you are placed into the chamber of my heart. That is the perfect cocoon for you. This is where you can find peace and oneness. When you are so triggered and sad and angry and scared, beloved humans, visualize yourself in the chamber of my heart. I source, have a heart that cannot be described. It can contain the whole of creation and galactic beings. So indeed, it is very big. Visualize yourself in your own cocoon. For I, Source, have billions and billions and trillions of children, but I know each and every one of them to their deepest core, for you are an extension of me. Every time you call me, I am there for you. Every time you ask me to bath you in my love, I channel my love to you. Connect from the heart to me, and you shall be saved. Connect to the heart for me, and you shall be safe, as well as your family. And as you do, you alchemize all that needs to be alchemized to become the ascended earthling, the new race on earth that eventually is going to have its own place fully anchored into the Galactic Confederation. And as such, the leader of your own race will be welcomed into the Galactic Confederation and honored as the leaders that they are. That will come later. But for now, trust everything. I am here always orchestrating, guiding, sending you love always. And this is it for now.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cendrine. Thank you, Anok. Thank you to all the beings of light who have sponsored this activation and this conversation. Thank you for God Source sharing your divinity, your protection, and your love upon us. What a wonderful, wonderful way to end.
Welcome back, my friends. Just take a few breaths from your belly. Feel the breath inside your belly. Feel how grounding it is. Feel the soles of your feet. Feel your roots anchored deep within Gaia. And repeat these words after me, please. I summon my soul to be 100% connected to Gaia now. I summon my soul to be 100% connected to Gaia now. And one more time, I summon my soul to be 100% connected to Gaia now. Breathe into that, feeling your energy being pulled down, anchoring you. Observe the body. Observe your heart, your mind. Observe the whole that you are, a magnificent light indeed, in a gorgeous human body. Okay, so after this, I would like to encourage you to keep on drinking water, and it is a lot more than usual. So between 3 and 5 liters a day after deep activations like this. So it will shift you profoundly. When we have big shift like that, it's very important for us to remember that we need to integrate, and integration is going to take as long as it needs to be fully present, helping you realign on multidimensional time and space realities into this experience that we are having at the moment. As you watch this video, I thank you from my heart to watch until the end and to give me back by staying present now and by listening to my words now. Remember that if you watch this, it is for a reason. It's because you are a light being, you are a light worker, you are one of the architects of the new earth. Feel that now and rejoice into that knowledge. We, the architects of the new earth, are awakening in masses at the moment. We need to step into our leadership roles. We need to remember our origin, where we come from, to be able to reactivate all the learning, the training, the wisdom, and the frequencies that are part of our soul essence, so they can alchemize our cells all the way to our DNA and reprogram our physical body, our mind, and our emotions, so we can be oneness And as we are oneness, we become fully ascended into 5D reality, and then we can take aligned action. From what came through this channeling, I was surprised to see how much actions are needed coming from us, leaders of the light. If you are watching this, you are a leader of the light. There is absolutely no doubt about that. So remove that if there is a doubt, like shuk, shuk, shuk. As a leader of light, remember to always align with love and your heart. Always drop the fears, but if something is really triggering, if you feel anger roaring, as the Arcturian Anok mentioned, channel that for the highest good of all, not in destruction and in judgment and in hate, but in standing strong into your own sovereignty, into saying out loud, in educating others from the heart, sharing information that might be sensitive, yes, but that needs to be spoken out in truth and connection from the heart center. It is not connection, dear, to bring fears and judgment and all of that. No. Leader of light, who now we need to speak up. We need to reclaim our power, and we are the only ones who can do it. So grab that beacon of light and hold it with pride. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your story. It is a great honor for me to serve you. It is a great honor for me to have learned about my own origin in more details. I will definitely work on learning more about that. And by the way, during this channeling, I revisited information that I already knew, but they went to another level. I already felt activated by those memories that became crystal clear, and it really helped me anchor those frequencies inside of me. As I'm sharing to you this message now, I feel different from 4 hours ago before doing the recording. I am now feeling that I'm fully anchored into my leadership role. Yes. So just feeling how much knowing about my origin helped me, on such a deep level, as it was transmitted through Source and my friend Anok. I would like to offer you as well the possibility to find out about your own origin, to find out where you are as a starseed. What's your story? I would be very honored to do that. So I offer sessions with the Arcturians. If you are drawn to knowing about your origin, we can bring that. My friend Anok would be honored, and as well work with Source closely. As you have noticed, we would be really honored to trans-channel sessions and to reconnect you with all of that. So for that, you can find it on my website, cendrines.com, and simply book for a one-on-one session with me, with the Arcturians. Trans-channeling, Arcturian healing. I feel it's very important for leaders of the light to reconnect. And as well to, hold the torch of the leaders. Please share this video around. Please be in love. Be in light. Be in you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Bye.